Hi, welcome to a short introduction to Cut Up Solo, The Count of Monte-Cristo, originally by Alexander Dumas, but vandalized by me. So, if you've bought any of my other Cut Up books, you'll know what you're going to get. If you haven't, I'll give you a quick whirlwind tour of Cut Up Solo. So, what you get is a brief introduction to solo role playing in general, and then Cut Up specifically. And I lean towards there's two kind of versions of it. There's interpretive or literal, and I give you examples of both, although my personal preference is interpretive. So interpretive, I'm just taking three tiny little snippets of text, putting them together to form a kind of little verse, and then using that verse, let it conjure an image in my mind. With literal, you take far more texts and put them together and try and construct something that is sentences or paragraphs, which is literally what the virtual game master says to you. You then react to that. And now it could just be that you do nothing and wait for more information, or you can interject with it. And then what the play cycle is that you have dozens or hundreds of snippets, and you just look for patterns in it and try and string bits together. So I've got I'm going to talk about the spreadsheet afterwards. I'll skip the spreadsheet for now. Um, there is a basic yes/no oracle included because sometimes there'll just be answers you want a yes/no answer to without having to wade through hundreds or thousands of snippets to try and find the right answer. Uh, and then there's this sample of play. Now here, so the gold sections are my little three snippets which I put together. The blue is kind of my interpretations and my thoughts, effectively me being in character. Then I sort of alternate between snippets and my thoughts in between. Now the little red words here are words I've inserted for readability. The strikeouts are words I've removed because they were to make things fit. Again, for readability, really. So I just alternate through three cycles there and kind of give you my thoughts on them. And then we get to the snippets. Now, in the book or in the PDF, you've got 1,000 snippets, so that's D1000, and two columns of them. And if you hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, you can actually highlight um, individual columns. So you can then just take them from there into a word processor or text editor, and you can play with them that way. So there's two sets of 1,000 snippets in the PDF. But the original book was also illustrated. There are 443 illustrations in the book, and what I've done is I've recreated these um, in the back here as a kind of visual oracle. You can, if you've got this in print, you can literally just flick through them, and if you want to see what an NPC look like, you can just grab a picture and think, yeah, that's the NPC. Uh, if you buy this from the PPM Games website, I've actually got you'll get a zip file with all of these images in, so you can put them into an image randomizer um, or whatever you want with them. If you are just using the PDF, then the images start on page 41. They go to 263. That gives you 220 images. I would just suggest, say, rolling something like a D10 and counting 10 images down, then rolling another D10, 10 images down, and so on, and just, or even rolling, 2D10 and going up by one, down by the other, just to randomize your way through. Some of them actually have little captions, which you can then again use that as another snippet within your text. But yeah, so there's 443 images stuck in the back of the book, and that's it. That's what you get. The spreadsheet is in four tabs here. The first one's just the cover. The second one just tells you two little tips, which I'm now going to tell you. Anyway, so these are the snippets. If you press F9 on your keyboard or go to the data and you recalculate, it will find you um, 20 snippets at a time, which you can just highlight and copy and paste into a text editor. So that's the easiest way to get bulk snippets. Now, if you go to the final tab, let's say for argument's sake, your scene is about to go into sort of combaty scene and you want some snippets from that. If you're using knives, you can literally just do Control F for find, type in knife, find all, and it will come up with all of the knife related snippets, and you can work down through some of these and find one that fits into your text, into your use that as a direct snippet rather than having to dig through them. There's 112,000 snippets in this spreadsheet, and there's 58 references to knives, so it would take a long time to try and find one purely by random. You could do the same with pistol. Find all. I think there's even more pistols because of the sort of setting. There's 70 there with pistols. There's so many for muskets. You can do fist as well. So you can dig into it directly using it a bit like a concordance, or you can use it entirely randomly and just keep picking out new snippets as you go. So that's it. That's what you get. Thank you for watching.